Hey, let me ask you something right out of the gate. Have you noticed how suddenly every team in the NFL is trying to wear the crown that was never theirs to begin with? All of a sudden, the media is handing out the America's Team label like it's a participation trophy. One day it's the Chiefs, then it's the Eagles. Next thing you know, the Commanders and even the Lions are getting a mention. The Bills? Seriously? Here's the deal. This isn't just about labels. It's about identity, about legacy. And no matter how many times they try to rewrite the narrative, the Dallas Cowboys are and will always be America's team. Period. But have you noticed the shift? The national media, big networks, and even a few NFL execs seem to be pushing a different message. It's like they've realized they can't erase the Cowboys from the history books, so now they're trying to replace us in the conversation. They want to push the flashy flavor of the week because it sells clicks and gets headlines. Let me tell you something important. When the NFL is trying to crown the next America's team, what they're really saying is that they're tired of the Cowboys setting the standard, tired of the expectations, the attention, the spotlight. So instead of competing with us, they're trying to copy us. But here's a quick poll for you. Do you think the NFL is deliberately trying to shift attention away from the Cowboys? Yes or no? Drop your vote in the comments. And hey, if you're one of the real ones who still believes the Cowboys own that title, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's show them that the star doesn't fade, no matter how many new names they try to throw into the spotlight. All right, let's dig deeper into why these other teams just can't hold a candle to the Cowboys' legacy. All right, now let's talk about something these other teams and their fan bases just don't seem to get. You can't replicate legacy. You can't manufacture what the Cowboys have built over decades. It's not something you pick up overnight because you won a playoff game or had a decent season. Look, I'm not saying those other teams aren't talented. Sure, the Chiefs have Mahomes and a couple of rings. The Eagles had a hot moment. The 49ers look tough on paper. But here's the difference. Those teams are building stories. The Cowboys are the story. This franchise didn't just stumble into greatness. The Cowboys have 5 Super Bowl trophies, Hall of Fame legends, a global fan base, and a brand that stretches far beyond football. We're talking about a team that draws primetime ratings even when they're not in the playoffs. That kind of weight can't be mimicked with one good season. It takes decades of dominance, heartbreak, and unmatched loyalty from fans like you. Here's something that really proves it. Every time the Cowboys hit a rough patch, every critic comes crawling out of the woodwork. Why? Because when the Cowboys lose, it moves the needle. The media loves a Dallas downfall more than they love a Cinderella story. And when the Cowboys win, oh, they try to downplay it like it's no big deal. That's how you know you're at the top. You're either the headline or the target. So let's do this. Drop a comment and tell me which moment made you fall in love with the Cowboys. Was it the triplets? That 90s dynasty? Maybe a favorite play, a player, or just that moment when you saw the star on a helmet and knew it meant something more? And while you're at it, here's a quick vote. Which team do you think the media is trying to crown as the new America's team? A, Chiefs B, Eagles C, Bills D. Other, tell me which one in the comments. Next, we're diving into the pressure cooker that is being a Cowboys player in today's league. You ready for that? Let's be real for a second. Playing for the Cowboys isn't for the faint of heart. You don't just wear the star, you carry it. And with that comes a pressure most NFL players will never experience. You mess up in Dallas? It's national news before you even hit the locker room. You make a big play? You're under a microscope the very next snap. And that's what separates the guys who just want to be in the league from the ones who want to define it. Take someone like Micah Parsons. He didn't just embrace the pressure, he weaponized it. The second he put on that jersey, he knew he was being watched by millions. Not just Cowboys fans, but haters too, hoping he'd crack under the weight. And instead of folding, he became one of the most dominant defensive forces in the game. But it's not just about talent. It's about handling the spotlight, staying mentally sharp when every little thing you say, tweet, or post is being dissected. For other teams, a bad day at the office might get a shrug. For a cowboy, it sparks an entire week of debate shows. This pressure, it forges warriors. Not every player can handle it, and we've seen that. Some come in hyped and leave quiet. But the ones who thrive under it, they become legends. That's why when you see someone bawling out in a Cowboys uniform, you know it's not just about stats. It's about surviving the storm and owning the moment. Let me ask you this. Which current Cowboy do you think handles the pressure of the star better than anyone else right now? Drop their name in the comments. I want to see who you're riding with. And while we're on that, here's a quick poll. Who faced more pressure in their Cowboys debut? A. Micah Parsons. B. CeeDee Lamb. C. Dak Prescott. D. Dez Bryant. Coming up next, we're peeling back the curtain on how the media spins everything when it comes to the Cowboys. Trust me, it's no accident. You've probably noticed this too. When the Cowboys sneeze, it's breaking news. It's wild how this team can dominate headlines even in the middle of the offseason when nothing major is happening. That's the power of the star. Whether it's training camp rumors, a tweet from a backup player, or just someone showing up late to a meeting, if it's Dallas, it's front page stuff, and the media knows exactly what they're doing. Cowboys news sells. Whether it's ESPN, FS1, or YouTubers like us, we all know fans are going to tune in, even if it's just to argue. It doesn't matter if it's positive, negative, or completely made up. If there's a Cowboy involved, the clicks follow. But here's the problem. Sometimes the noise drowns out the facts. Take something like Micah Parsons skipping optional workouts. A bunch of national guys ran with it like he was boycotting the team. The reality? Plenty of veterans do it. But because it's Dallas, the narrative gets twisted, and suddenly, you've got people questioning his leadership, his attitude, or worse, his commitment. It's not fair, but it's real. That's why players in Dallas have to think 5 steps ahead before doing anything. Even a single tweet can turn into a headline, and that headline becomes a talking point on national shows for an entire week. The truth is, most teams don't face this. If a random linebacker from, say, Jacksonville skipped OTA, no one would even notice. But a Cowboy? That's a whole segment. So let me throw this to you. Do you think the media is harder on the Cowboys than on other teams? Let me know in the comments. I read everyone. And let's vote on this. Which Cowboys storyline from the last year do you think was blown way out of proportion? A. The Parsons OTA situation. B. Dak's contract rumors. C. Trevon Diggs' injury comments. D. The coaching hot seat drama. Next up, we'll break down why this constant spotlight actually works in the Cowboys' favor, especially when it comes to building a legacy. So here's the big question, my friend. Is all of this noise worth it? The pressure, the headlines, the social media chaos? Does playing for the Cowboys still carry the kind of legacy that makes it all pay off? If you ask players, many will say yes, without hesitation. Because the flip side of all that scrutiny is opportunity. The Cowboys offer a platform that no other team in the NFL can match. You ball out in Dallas, the whole country notices. You become a star overnight. That's why so many former Cowboys, guys like DeMarcus Ware, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, are not just remembered as great players. They're remembered as icons. And not just in Texas, nationwide, globally. Micah Parsons gets this. He may be young, but he knows exactly what he's doing. Every post, every appearance, every moment he steps in front of a mic, it's calculated. Because he understands that his brand and the Cowboys' brand are tied together. And that's a powerful thing when managed right. But here's where you come in. The fans, especially diehard ones like you, are the lifeblood of this machine. You're the reason this team stays relevant no matter what the record says. The way you show up, the way you engage, the way you debate everything from depth charts to draft picks, it all feeds into the legacy. And yeah, that legacy can be a burden. But it's also a badge of honor. So let me ask you, would you rather root for a team that flies under the radar or one that carries the weight of national attention every single day? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's settle that one. And just before we wrap this video up, hit that like button if you're proud to wear the star, no matter what the media says. And don't forget to subscribe, because here at Cowboys News TV, we're riding through the highs and lows together. Until next time, stay locked in, stay loyal, and as always, go Cowboys.